Hello, this is Cody Tipton, Friday, August 9th, 2024. Here is Lab 2, a 4-bit memory lab. So here is the circuit that I created. Okay, and I'm going to explain everything in a second here. Just want to do a quick look, okay? So we have 3 IC chips, 1, 2, and 3, and the goal is to put 4 bits of input to get this LED to flash. Okay, and we're going to accomplish that like this. Okay, so each IC chip is, we have 2 IC chips that are NOR gates right here. 7402, we have 2 of those, and then we have 1 IC chip that is an AND gate. All right, so this NOR gate needs two zero inputs to equal a 1 output, and then the AND gate needs 2 1s to give a 1 output. All right, so here's what we're making. We're using those NOR gates to make RS latches, okay? And the reason why we're calling them RS memory latches is because once you input, once you send a 1 here, then it's actually going to come out and you get a 1 and a 0, and that's going to give you a 0, right? And then it's going to come down to here, and then now you have a 0 and a 0, and that's going to give you a 1, all right? And that 1's going to reverberate back, and that's going to give you a 1 and a 0, because that's a momentary signal. So 1 and a 0 gives you a 0, and then that reverts back. 2 zeros equal 1. So that's going to hold that value of a 1 right here. Okay, and then I'm going to demonstrate that with some extra LEDs that I added. I added 4 extra LEDs to this lab, and at this point here, after each set of RS latches that we created, here, 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 and here. And I corresponded those with the push button color that they are. Signal 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so after you get a 1 here, you're going to have this AND gate that needs 2 1s to put a 1. So right now we're going to have a 1 and a 0. And that's going to stay that way until we hit push button number 2, and that's going to give us a 1 and a 1, and that'll push out a 1, and then that's going to reverberate back to a 1 here, and that's going to hold that value there, and then so on and so forth with each push button holding each corresponding value. Coming down the line to our last AND gate, and this AND gate is going to have that last push button signal here, and then we're going to send a clock pulse to the other input of that AND gate, and that's going to reverberate as a 1 0 1 0 in a constant cycle, and that's going to cause this LED to flash on and off, on and off. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate that now. I'll explain this system a little bit right now. So like I explained earlier, we're going to have 4 inputs, input 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And those are going to turn on each corresponding LED. All right, and then once you hit those 4 inputs, it's going to hold the signal on that last AND gate, and then it's going to flash that light with that 1, and then also a 1 that we're sending from this clock pulse that we're generating. Okay, we have a 1 hertz frequency at a 50% on, 50% off rate, and you'll see that in our flashing light, half on, half off with the timing. Okay, we're going to show that our circuit works. Okay, so first we have our 4 push buttons. Okay, and here's push button 1. Now you see that the first yellow LED turned on. That means that we have our 1 right at the end of that first RS latch that we created. right? And so in order to push that on the other side of the next AND gate, we're going to need to push another 1 to that AND gate, and that's going to be the red push button here. Now you see that red light turned on once I hit that second push button. That means that that reverberated back to the next one. All right, and then we're going to have our third push button, which is going to go to our next AND gate, and you see that with the blue light LED there. Now this fourth push button is our last one, and what that's going to do is that's going to send that 1 all the way to the other AND gate, and then that's going to flash on and off with our 0 and 1 coming from our pulse. Okay, and you'll see that now. All right, you see the last LED came on, and now we have our last LED flashing on and off. 50% on and 50% off. Okay, so that's my circuit. And lastly, we have a reset button, which sends a 0 to all of them and resets everything. Now, as I explained earlier, you have to go in sequential order, because if you don't have that 1 locked in there, then it's not going to work. So you can go and hit all the other push buttons, and it's not going to work properly if you go backwards. Say 4, 3, 2. Looks like we're getting a little bit of floating there. I didn't add resistors onto those push buttons, so we're getting a little signal that shouldn't happen. That should work like that. If I press it too hard, then I get some floating, and then it's going to kick on. See that? That shouldn't happen. That's why I need to put resistors in between there. There you go. Okay, so that's my 4-bit memory RS latches that we created, and this makes the RS latch right there with that loop. All right, thank you very much.